All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We've got about I need my glasses. About 4 minutes to the open, 3 minutes to the open, 3 minutes to the open. And glasses make it clear that it's 3 minutes to the open. Futures leaning up again yesterday. Another lightish volume day on an upswing, which is not ideal at all. Not really what you'd like to see. What you'd like to see a little more elevated volumes, but at least we're not tanking, so that's something good. So that's our trend line that's been holding us down on the NASDAQ. Let's see if we get to that and end up failing again. Yesterday was slightly higher volume, but still pretty low. No follow-through day yesterday, even though it was up more than 0.2%. And the volume was elevated here. Doesn't look like it was elevated on the IBD charts. And so we're back where we are today, which is the same place. No big deal. Here we go. Big picture. Looking for charts. No charts. Oh yeah, looks like it wasn't. Looks like it was up over yesterday. The volume was up over yesterday, but not enough for a follow through. Wow. That was interesting. I was trying to sneeze and my throat closed up on me and started a massive coughing attack. All right. Wow. Market's opening right now on my screen. I'm going to assume nothing crazy going on. I just pulled up the day's movers. And doesn't look like anything. Looks like Salesforce moving 8%. That's a nice jump for Salesforce. Will be considered a double bottom base. It looks like down 30%. Wow, that's actually well within reason. I think your buy point in Salesforce would be at 143.87 or 144.0 or I'm sorry 143.97. So that's not bad. Looks like a little bit of gap on the daily here on the Qs. We'll see if it's a gap and go day. That would be that'd be nice, but we'll have to wait and see. Look at these very muted volumes down here. Not super happy about that. All right, let's see what's on our list here moving. Beta. Beta is actually an interesting prospect on the weekly chart here. Actually, quite a bit of strength right there on Beta. Bit Auto, interesting. I believe this is Chinese used cars, if I'm not mistaken. Really bad rankings on Bita. Trying to find a reason to be bullish. Morning, Eli. 104% EPS change last quarter on this one. Negative EPS growth rate the past 3 years, which is not a good thing. Sales are good. 3 years sales are good. Pre-tax margins horrible. ROE is horrible. Technically, it's not broken, which is good. I think it's interesting. It's down at $20. Yep. But yeah, crypto jumped a little bit today out of a extreme low area. I was looking at it on the daily chart. A little bit here today. Yeah, it just started curling up yesterday. Ended up putting in a couple of points here. We got one right there over that prior high, chopped around that 38 level, and then it formed a little mini bull flag overnight right there, and then continuation. So we'll see how it happens. Looks like volume's already decelerating on the upside, so this is the larger breakdown point right in this area. So we'll see what happens up here if we pause or if we continue up. Yeah, pretty good. NASDAQ, yep, coming back down a little bit. Nothing too great at the moment. This looks like another little bear flag. I've had a couple bear flags already. One there, one there. See if this proves to be another one. Nothing came from this little declining formation. Just continued lower. Albeit we did have one of those. I can't do it here. We have this trend line here that this low didn't come close to, which is a good sign that momentum to the downside is slowed. But we'll see how that plays out. And we're still looking for a follow-through day here on the indexes. So we're now the 5th day after our low here. So looking for some kind of a follow-through day. To be honest with you, I hope we kind of hang out around here and it doesn't happen for a couple of weeks, but I think that would be ideal. This one happened pretty quick, and the resulting sell-off, it was just too soon. Take a look at the big boys, Amazon and Apple. So there's Amazon having that nice reversal day right there, which was that low in the market. Lower volumes on these upward moves. Still the 200-day holding us down, 50-day holding us down. Getting close to that death cross in the markets, which doesn't mean that we're going to go down further necessarily, but does imply choppiness at least. Usually implies that. We can reverse above it, but it's difficult sometimes. Ugh, can't sneeze. All right, so Amazon, Apple's next. There's nothing doing on the 1 day chart here. Yeah, just nothing doing. A little bit of accumulation down here at the 170 level. Sorry, guys. Difficult to stay talking. But yeah, Apple not looking very favorably. The 10 days actually holding it down, which is pretty aggressive. Don't think Amazon's quite doing that. A couple of routes above the 10-day here on Amazon, so not too bad. Let's see some stocks on my list that are moving. Weibo here attempting a rally out of a bottoming area. Another Chinese name. I think you're seeing some picking at the Chinese names by some institutions. That's fairly apparent. There's ServiceNow doing okay. What was that, Paycom? Come on, man. Look at here on the daily, actually not looking. I mean, it's definitely in a downward trend, but looks like it slowed a little bit. Found a little bit of support there at the 50-day or the 200-day. Some very low volume here over the holidays, and then a reversal back to the top side. One to keep an eye on. MDB, this is the one I was looking at. Had this interesting flat base. Usually this wide action indicative of distribution. With the marketing correction, that's fairly seems normal, doesn't it, that we'd have some distribution. But I'm really not mad at the kind of base it's been putting in here. This isn't, if you give that day kind of a pass, almost form that. Could be good if the market doesn't fall apart again. Newer data, Twilio. Boeing fell apart here. That needs a lot more work to get healthy. Docu with an interesting little spike low pattern right there. You see the good pocket pivot volume right there. That's pretty nice. Not a lot of volume on the sell side since we have this candle. A little bit of selling there. There's some buying, and then now a little mini bull flag structure in Docu. Looks interesting. That's one to keep an eye on, I think. AMED, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this guy. It's like, screw you in your bear market, correction. I'm going to do what I want to do. Hold on, guys. All right, I'm back. Yeah, AMAT here looking pretty interesting. I like the volume on the right side of this chart. I'm going to look at it on IBD real quick. Amedisys, a pretty good ranking here, as a matter of fact, 99. Nursing home services through healthcare centers and 83 hospice care centers in 34 states. So they're on the baby boomer market. EPS, excellent. 24% earnings surprise. Everybody likes a good surprise. 33 EPS growth rate, that's pretty good. It's really good. Current quarter, or current year, 62. Sales are 12%. Yeah, they're not going to grow like gangbusters. Pre-tax margin, so even with these red dots here, you still have a 99 ranking, and that's probably due to the exceptional 99 relative strength rating. 1.5% up, down volume, C-, which is interesting. 7 quarters of increasing fund ownership. Wow. That's quite amazing. That's a good one. Let's read that one. James is joining us here today, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, James. Want to stay with me? Want to learn about the business cycles of Amedisys stock? All right, let's go check it out. All right, so they had a 24% pullback, which is fine. Solid rebound since late October. That's a beautiful base. Relative strength is at greatly new highs even before the price is in new highs. That's always good. Signals outperformance, absolutely. Growth of 70%. Best quarterly earnings in over 3 years. 2 consecutive quarters of accelerating revenue growth. That's good. Third best year to date of all 33 sectors tracked by IBD. It looks like it's the leading sector. Oh. Wow, that's really good. Pretty glowing review of this stock. And the chart kind of shows you that right here. It's definitely more of a V bottom than a bounce, but to be honest with you, I think this qualifies for straight off the bottom action. What a straight off the bottom is essentially usually happens in a double bottom base. This doesn't really look like a double bottom base, but the exceptional volume, which is why it's called straight off the bottom, the exceptional volume here off of earnings and the good move there really looks like just a tremendous amount of interest in the stock here. And then a nice run up there. Beautiful up day. Holiday volume. Oh, look at Friday. Wow, look. Okay, that's Friday. There you go, that's Friday. I was going to say. Volume on Monday is really good. So coming to a buy point in a correction. If it happens, that's going to be tricky if you want to play this one or not. AMED, one of the very, very few stocks that really looks spectacular. I mean, that really does look good. Let's keep going here. That was a good one to find, even though we already found it. Wow, look at that. Big drop in SIVB. Etsy holding up near highs as well. You can see it hasn't even touched its 200-day moving average. I'm doing some charting on this one to see if it's, what it's doing here. You look by the volume. There's just quite a bit of green here on. Oh, I'll be back, guys. All right, I'm back. Had to make more tea, guys. Eli with a question. I've heard that during corrections, individual names can have big rallies and generally increased volatility. Right there, James. Yeah, individual names can have rallies. It's always difficult though because you're pushing against the hurricane that is a correction or a bear market. But yeah, there can be some rallies. We haven't seen too many yet in this market. Not yet, but I really do like that Amen name. Actually, looks like it's already crossing this buy point right now. That's interesting. Volume not. So you still want to see the traditional traditional things in a breakout. You want to see breakout volume. You want to see those types of things. But 128.59, so 128.69 would be the buy point. So not quite there yet, but it looks like we're going to go test the area and see what happens. But volume so far today, 37,000 volume and 518,000. So 518 divided by 13. I don't think we're on good track for that. The reason why 13 is there's 13 half-hour sessions in a trading day, and we're about a half an hour in. So I'd want to see about at least 40,000 times 1.4, at least 58,000 shares traded. We don't see anywhere near that, so this is not breakout volume. Not yet. We'll see if volume increases if we get higher here. We'll see what happens, but that's what you want to see. So far, this is not breakout volume. MJ. I was looking at MJ yesterday, and I do like where it stopped above prior lows. I'm not super happy about this. The general action of the looks like an H pattern, bear flag type of a situation is really what it looks like, if I'm honest with myself. But yeah, if it fails to break this, it's a 28.20. Could be a good bottom buy, but it has to hold that, obviously. And we already have a couple of tests at it going up with failures, so that's a little difficult to say it's going to happen. But I think for some longer term bags on MJ, I think it's a pretty good area. We've already seen what the sector can do. But I think at this stage of the game, you have to be prepared for a breakdown in MJ. But it has come ever since we've had higher volume since the last half of the year here. We pretty much retraced the entire move. So, if you're bullish on the sector and the names within MJ, I think, this being a volatile sector and an ETF that's pretty. It's old enough. Goes back to 2015, but the sector's really only kind of gotten going in the past few months. But I like where it's held. Think about it from a logical perspective. This 25, this should be a floor. There's no reason this should not be a floor here in MJ going on the weekly chart. Multiple touches. Yeah, so, hopefully 27.50, 27, whatever this is, holds up, and we can maybe chop around this area for a few months and then start our brand new crazy uptrend, leading us to MJ being $7 million in the middle of 2020 sometime. So you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. MJ, several $1 million per share. Heard it here first. What's the market doing? 0.39% on the NASDAQ there. 0.5% on the Qs. Rallying on lower volume. Usually never a good thing. I should say never. Pretty much always never a good thing. Crypto breaking in the upside? Of course it is. How's our volume doing? Volume's looking good. VA tool getting pretty elevated. Nice extensions right there and right there out of these patterns. Well, let's see where some... we talked about logical retracements a little bit. I'll do a quick fib here. from 62. I guess I'll do it from this top point right there. We talked about that 38 retracement on a kind of a dead cat bounce. If you will, it takes you to 46. We actually haven't redone this on. We did this up here. We didn't do it down here, as a matter of fact. That was nice. Were you there for that live stream yesterday where we caught the bottom there at like 35, whatever? That was a good buy right there. A couple of good patterns here. So, it does have a little bit of room to move up. How high up is difficult to say. I mean, it has some decent volume here, though. It is starting to decline. But you can see we already took another leg out of a very small consolidation. So getting more bullish by the minute, it appears. XLM doing pretty good, 11.5%. NEO up 16 after being deeply oversold in the 7, still at only at 850. So this is our first bounce in Bitcoin since we broke the 6,000 level. Quite amazing that it took that long to get that bounce. So no third leg down. We did discuss yesterday breaking this trend line right there. Looks like that happened, and then yeah, so 46 seems fairly rational. If you get to 46, you're still respecting this high, and trend may still be intact. We'll have to wait and see. That's kind of what happened with Ethereum. FFIV with a interesting pattern here. Kind of an acceleration to the downside, culminating in a peak volume bar right there. Okay, that's an earnings bar. And volume decelerates. We have a higher low here. And today we're getting a little bit of yesterday was a pretty aggressive day, closed towards the highs. That's interesting. On FFIV. Not bad. Well, that's what happens. I hit minus and it zooms me out. FFIV with a pretty nice little trend line right there. Glog, there's Etsy. Etsy's showing a little bit of strength here recently. A lot of charts just look like they need a lot of work, though. I mean, I think that's the main theme here. Oh, Amazon doing good. Looks like it's poking towards high a day. 18.98 is the high. Or 16.98. Yeah, so not bad. 16.18, continuing higher. So there's high day for Amazon. That should help push indexes higher. See what Apple's doing. Not the same thing. Not at all the same thing. I haven't looked at IQ in about a week or so, probably. There's IQ, not doing too bad. Another Chinese streaming name. What's moving down here today? Solo down another 9%. Wow. So much for Solo. Why? Whoop. Why? Coming down pretty far, almost to the prior breakdown point right there in 2017. BECN, ALXN. There's INS again. Still have no idea why this thing is. Looks like a rock star here. Anik, Quad U. Just rocking lower there. Jazz, ECC. So another quasi boring day in the markets. Hopefully we can get a little bit more bullish throughout the day. That would be ideal, but at this stage of the game, just not breaking down is a minor victory. Yeah, that's pretty much how that's working out. So not much to do here with the market still in correction. I think I'm going to bounce, guys. Kind of gone through everything. Not much doing. Kind of a little lazy here. A few names are having some moves, but we've seen similar. Now had a big gap here that failed. We have a little gap here. We'll see if this fails again. A little bit of room to go. This is the top trend line in the Nasdaq that we've had since the market top here. We'll see if that holds or we can get through that. All right, guys. I'm gonna get out of here. Guys, have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow.